2 minutes past, let's jump in. We will kick off with the usual bits and pieces. So this is, first of all, welcome everyone. This is our last European Open Mic of 2025, which is, sad, exciting, lots of feelings there. To think this time last year we didn't have a dedicated call for partners in the EMEA space, and now we do. And in 2026, it's something we really are looking to ramp up and increase participation and attendance in. So thank you all for the folks who do join on a regular basis or watch the recordings. A quick recap of why we do this call. It is a technical call. It's for folks to join and learn a little bit more about Rewst and what we've been doing internally with product updates, some crates, some education bits and pieces. But also it's a call for you guys, for our community, where people can share what they've been working on, what they've been building, and as Aaron likes to say, do a little bit of R&D, or rob and duplicate. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, Discord. We're popping off in Discord as we speak. So with a few people messaging me, but yeah, Discord is there for you guys to use. It's actually funny, at the minute I have a large number of other vendors asking me about community, about Discord, about how you get it going, and kind of like, you kind of have to do it organically. You have to have something that MSPs want to use and engage in. You can't just set something up, and say you're doing something but not actually do it. You really have to walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So really enjoy seeing all you guys in there helping each other. Yeah, jumping in, and of course you've got our rock team as well there. So I think that's it for intro stuff of the usual spiel, unless anyone says I'm missing anything. Hey Gareth, good to see you again. So yeah, with that I will jump into my slides. I've been practicing sharing screens, so we won't have any hiccups this time, I think. So got all my monitors set up, so we'll do a little bit of this and we'll do a little bit of that. Bingo. How are we looking there? Thumbs up. Lewis, looking good. You can see my screen. All right. Okay. First things up, I've got my slides a little bit out of order. So Daniel, we're going to jump straight over to you with product, but yeah, a whirlwind of a month for the product team. Lots of good stuff coming out of there, right? So yeah, why don't you walk us through what you and the team have been doing?
That sounds wonderful. Excellent. So we had a pretty good month last month, and we've got some work done as well that is upcoming that is very exciting. So a few of the items of note to talk about are just up on the screen here. There's also a couple other things that I can mention. So we've added a CIPP integration. For those of you who don't know or don't use CIPP, it's a wonderful tool to help you with your Microsoft environments. So we did have Kelvin jump in and do a demo for us. We can make that available to everybody. It was part of our regular Friday scheduled open mics. But he built a form that listed tenants, listed users with MFA enabled in that tenant, and then built an app builder app that actually checked to see if the MFA, if the partial MFA request had gone through, and you could see, yes, it had gone through, it was accepted. We are adding more actions for that. I believe we're adding actions for users for GDAP, and then there's one other set of integration or action categories that we're adding for that. But those are all, those endpoints would be available using the generic action for now. I believe we'll be adding that in the upcoming, maybe next week. We've added Aerosphere integration. So Aerosphere is a tool that you can use for obtaining licenses for cloud services, hardware, software, all that fun stuff. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is a lot bigger in EU than it is North America right now. So that was another positive integration that we built. We updated our Notion integration. Notion redid their APIs, and we had to do some upgrades to that to avoid any breaking changes. We had some RoboRewsty updates that I can talk about and just show a little bit of. That included some bug fixes and some enhancements. And then we also made a whole bunch of improvements to the workflow canvas. So as a team, there's a few things that we're working very hard on right now. One of them is over the next year, over 2026, we want to be able to have 10 times the processing power at least at Rewst. So across the entire world, we have four regions. We're running between 1.5 and 1.7 billion tasks every month. We're processing, I think it's 180,000 messages per minute. And just with how you're all using Rewst, we need to be able to handle 10 times that. So that means we are making massive improvements to our database for some scalability items that we wanted to address, and we have a whole bunch of other stuff that I can quickly pull up and talk about. So we've made improvements around database locks. We've made improvements around just like the scalability and growth of our database. And then we've made some improvements to the performance of our canvases. So for example, you may have noticed if you're using specific integrations that have many actions, and those actions have many parameters, and those parameters pull from options generators with many options, the canvas can sometimes slow to, or could sometimes slow to a crawl. That workflow canvas, we've made optimizations, some of them around lazy loading, just to improve the performance of those, so you're not noticing as much or any of the slowness because of all the processing that's going on just to load those integrations and the parameters for those actions. Yeah, so I'll share my screen quickly and I'll just do a quick, so I've already set up the CIPP and Aero integrations here. And I can just show you that we have a list tenants, we have list domains health, we have Aerosphere's list subscriptions and list orders. So if I test those, excuse me, we have, you can immediately see, we have a couple of tenants here in Rewst for CIPP. I just did a domain health check on Rewst.io, so you can get information on that. So what I did for the list domains action, or list domain health, let's go here, and I just the action I wanted to perform was the read demarc policy. I can go back into the execution history and check out this. So I can see all my subscriptions that I have here. I can see all my orders that I have here. And yeah, so when we choose our integrations, there's a couple of things that we look at. The first thing that we care about is what's the community asking for, and so we choose our integrations based on community requests through things like Canny. We also have some strategic partnerships that maybe our existing customer base doesn't look at and or doesn't vote on, but they could be some up and coming roosters that are involved in those integrations. So we have a couple of, so one example of that would be earlier this year, we integrated with Slide. And Slide was just being launched at Right of Boom. We, as part of their launch, we built a native integration with them. We have a couple of upcoming integrations. One that I'll mention that's been highly requested is ConnectWise ASIO. That will be coming out, I believe, next week. So yeah, stay tuned for some more integrations that are going to be coming. We also have just a quick look at RoboRewsty. We've made some minor changes and we've made some improvements to the experience. So you can see, I'll just ask it a question. What is execution handler? So a couple things that we've done, we've adjusted our guardrails. So RoboRewsty, we don't want it to be able to do anything that's like malicious, right? We also don't want it to say any bad words. But what we've done, what we noticed is we have built-in guardrails here to make sure that it doesn't do that type of malicious activity. And so we have actually been adjusting those guardrails as we go, because we've noticed that there's some prompts that triggered the guardrail, but so it would give a non-response. But there were a lot of false positives in there. So we've been adjusting the guardrails. We've improved the performance a little bit. We're still working on a lot more performance improvements just to make sure that you're getting speedier answers. And then we have tackled a few bugs. So you may have noticed at one point, if you popped out into a new window, you would lose your chat. So that was a bug that came at us from the community. So so we went ahead and fixed that. We're in the midst of adding some changes to how the results analysis looks. So when you're on a results page, you can ask questions about this. So I'm going to take a gamble here, and I'm going to say,
see if doing something live.
Yeah, let's see if it can tell me a bit about the results here. Well, let's start with something easy. So it should have the context here. We're making some adjustments to actually make this more intuitive and give you the results analysis directly from the page, so you don't have to figure out, hey, I have to click this button up here. It should be a little bit more obvious. So the workflow succeeded. It gives me some information on it. Let's see if it can tell me what of my CIPP tenants. Oh, no, it didn't help. It didn't help me with that. Let's see if I can let's see if it'll do it. Okay, this is some of the the input is too long for the question model. All right, well, ML Gods failed me today.
Right, belong new chat. One of the things I think this is just basic George coming in here, but one of the things I've noticed that RoboRewsty is doing when people are building workflows from scratch is on the canvas the sort of color coded note boxes that as a non-technical person I absolutely love, because even though a lot of things here, we've got the drag and drop task functionality. If you put that in front of someone who's not really familiar with A, automation, or B, just a lot of technical processes, it can still kind of look like a lot of hieroglyphics. But I think maybe it was even you, Gareth, had a really cool workflow that had 7 different color-coded boxes that were highlighted for the particular process it was working on. I just think it really neatens things up a lot. So if anyone else has been using or seeing that, would love to just hear about how that's working and bridging the gap between technical builders and trying to help other non-technical people understand the processes associated with what you're trying to automate.
There we go. New chat. So thanks, Jack and team. So it pulled the data from this workflow execution and got me my 2 partner tenants. You can see I had page or aviary and I had partner tenant there. So I got some information from my workflow execution. And then there's what George was talking about, generating auto documentation. For some reason, it didn't give me all the pretty colors, probably because this is a bit of a nonsensical workflow. But it auto documented for me just by going to my notes and then generating auto documentation. Did I have anything else to talk about? Yeah, so I guess I mentioned that we're working on the ASIO integration. We are also working on some new features for RoboRewsty. So I just got a demo yesterday of what is hopefully the final touches to RoboRewsty generated workflows. So you'll be able to, from the workflow canvas, talk with RoboRewsty and tell it to update your workflows or create new workflows for you. So that is coming soon. We're hoping to have some initial like some internal testing and some initial advanced access to that in December, with a big exciting launch hopefully in January. We are also working on the finishing touches, doing pen testing for a RoboRewsty MCP. So you'd be able to go into your favorite tool, be it Claude, Codex, any of those tools, and you can add the Rewst MCP and then interact with Rewst through your favorite AI tools. So that will be coming, again, we're just doing pen testing on that, and that is coming around the same time frame, December to January. We'll be slowly but surely launching that. We also have one thing I didn't mention, we've added some additional functionality to our options filters. So for both drop downs and multi-select, we give you we've added the more simple method of filtering your options just through like through these sort of if and statements or statements and all that type of stuff instead of having to write your own Jinja. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of exciting stuff that's coming as well. How can people put themselves forward for the testing of the next RoboRewsty release? Yeah, so we are looking at doing a round of beta testing, and we're still kind of figuring out what that's going to look like, how many people, how long. It's probably going to be, we're thinking it's probably going to be about 2 weeks of beta testing, and hopefully it doesn't completely coincide with the holiday time so we can get some actual testing in there. But to put your name forward, we have a channel in Discord. Just I'd have to grab that. I'll get that channel for you and join that Discord channel. And then just if you could myself in that channel and just let me know that you are interested in testing. You can also, if you want to save the clicks, just send me a message tagging me in here, and we can coordinate that list and get you for our beta testing.
Sweet. Thanks, Daniel.
Awesome.
Great update. One thing I'll tack on as well, guys, just while we're in the process of hand raising and some interaction off the back of the CIPP integration, and I'm teeing Jesse up nicely here for marketplace stuff. We want to build some crates. So Jesse and the team over in the Create Marketplace already working on some stuff, but because CIPP has so many different options and ways of helping MSPs deal with M365 and bringing multi-tenancy to it, there's lots of different crates we want to build as well. So one, if you haven't already been in and made it visible within your own Discord profile, we do have a CIPP dedicated channel under the Birds of a Feather category in Discord. So if you're already using CIPP, if you've already built stuff in Rewst with custom integrations, you want to share that, you have questions, you're eager to learn more, there's a dedicated space for you to do that. Within that channel as well, and linked in the coop, is a poll that we're currently running, where we've got 4 options for crates that we're looking into building, but would love the community's feedback on which one to prioritize. What matters to you most? What would you like to see come out of the gates early? What's going to be useful for you guys? So please take a look at the CIPP channel over in Discord. So with that in mind, I think we have our next Canadian on deck. Jesse, you missed all of our snow talk at the stop of the call.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I was doing a discovery call and got a little. I was so excited to discover things, so got a little carried away. Should I share, or do you have the?
I can do it, but if you've got a little demo or anything to show, maybe it's just easier. You can kind of pop your slide up and then yeah.
I don't think I have a demo today. I hope. I don't think.
No, you don't have to show anything. It's okay. There's a lot to go through. Daniel already did some product stuff, but I just know there was a lot of crates that came out in the past month. So I just want to make sure people are aware with DropSuite and all the other good things that you went through.
Sure. Yes, sir.
I can share. I got it here, Jesse. Don't worry.
I also have it here too. Oh, I just need to go back 1 slide here. Let me get it pulled up. Apologize, folks. Marketplace update. Here we are. Wonderful. Yes. So as George alluded to, new crates on the marketplace side. We've got some DropSuite stuff that we're doing. We've got 2 new crates that we are hoping to get released in the next week or 2. You might see some release notes on the docs site about them being released earlier. We had a couple of hiccups that we're still working through. So we'll get those release notes corrected, and then these are the correct timelines in terms of getting things released early December. Hopefully end of this week. If not, should be early next week. So getting those released, there's 2 different crates. There's the create new account, and then there's the monitor backups. The create new account is, if you guys are familiar with DropSuite, the idea is that you are doing backup monitoring. So this would be creating a new account to be added to an organization's backup monitoring for all the different things, OneDrive, SharePoint, shared mailboxes, all that good things. And then monitoring backups as well. So the kind of second side of that is once people are added and you're actually actively monitoring the backups that are happening, you would of course want tickets to be created. You want those tickets to kind of auto close on their own. So that would be monitoring all of the different triggers that DropSuite has in terms of the different services that they monitor, and then creating the associated tickets and creating the adding some information to those and closing them. I don't have a demo for those today. I certainly can do that in the new year, probably once they're released. I think that might be more appropriate. We will have information on those and documentation and everything when they get released. So yeah, if there are any questions about that, put those in the chat and we can definitely answer those, or I'll open it up to questions in a sec. And then some additions to some of the crates that we have. I know folks, when they start to do the user onboarding workflow or some of the other workflows that use the M365 usage location, it's a little annoying if your country is not included. I felt that intimately when I was early on at Rewst and we just had the US and we didn't have Canada, and I was lobbying to get Canada added as a variable there. So we now have New Zealand and France country codes added as well. If there are others, let us know and we can add them. And then we also added Anthropic to the AI ticket categorization and sentiment analysis crates. So for both of those, if you used Anthropic or Claude instead of OpenAI, then you could get those added to your workflow, and it should support the integration, and you should be able to select your model and everything if you need to. Third point there is a couple of additions for DropSuite as well. So as we were doing the new crates, we added some DropSuite functionality to existing crates. So that's the Microsoft new user onboarding, Microsoft user offboarding, and the billing count report. Very quickly, the functionality there would kind of mirror the create new account for the new user onboarding side. You add a user to backup monitoring. User offboarding would be taking them away from backup monitoring when they exit the organization. And then billing count monitors, I believe it's the shared mailboxes that they charge for, and then also users as well. And then speaking of the billing count report crate, a couple of additions there. We added Synix Australia, TD Synix Stream 1 Ion, and TD Synix Stellar. So adding a few additional billing or licensing vendors to the billing count report. If folks on the call are interested in additional vendors being added to the billing count report, we want to make sure that that's as thorough as possible and that we have all the tools in there that you need. So if there's something we support via an integration and it's not in there, let us know and we can work to get that added. So any questions on that? I know I moved quick, but.
Nothing in the chat, Jesse. Looks all good. Thank you very much, sir.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
All right. Clea is off today, so I'm going to be running our education update. So let me share this slide with you all, and you can all take a look at what education has been doing. So I'll walk through these in a bit more detail in just a second, but some new courses, 3 ways to start using RoboRewsty. So Daniel's kindly dropped the link to the Discord channel there. So that's where we're having all the chats about RoboRewsty. There's loads of people using it, testing it, breaking it all the time, and so it's getting better and better every day. But if you're brand new to it, there's 3 ways that you can kind of ask it some things and get the ball rolling. Number 2, impact framework. I'm going to be speaking about that in a little bit more detail in just a second. But also we have the building branded Rewst forms. This is a question that comes up a lot, particularly with new users. Can we brand Rewst forms? The answer is yes. We now have a course that shows you how. If you have junior folks or people that you're looking to ramp up within Rewst, this is a great place to get them started, to help them understand A, little bit more how forms work, and B, how they can do something simple like brand it for each of your clients. The other thing we want to talk a little bit about and highlight is an upcoming automation lab. It's actually happening next week. I'll show you guys the registration page and share that link in just a second, but it's all focused around the just-in-time admin access crate. So again, the whole idea, one of the things we're moving towards Rewst is we have all of these great crates, a lot of automation capabilities. And if you're a Rewst partner, you can perhaps save yourself some overhead, some money by really honing in and creating workflows, automations on top of some of the existing crates that we have that maybe replace some tools. So again, we know that a lot of technicians, engineers on the call have CEOs, MSP owners that go to shows, they find the shiny new tool, they come back, they say, hey, I need you to implement this and onboard it. But getting more familiar with Rewst and some of the crates we have, you can say, no, we actually already have that, or we can do it in Rewst. So if you're not already using the just-in-time admin access crate, or you want to recap, or you have a new staff member or someone who's interested in learning more about automation, this automation lab is a great thing to get added to their calendar. Even if they can't attend live, the recording will be added. So let me just walk you through a couple of those things now real quick. So the impact framework, there's Mr. Father Tim Fournette there. This is something he's helped created. And what it's doing, folks, is it's giving you a framework to follow where you can really walk through the value of automation using a combination of both storytelling and numbers. It takes 30 minutes, so it's something you can do very, very quickly, but it's giving you a framework to use about how you're actually quantifying the problem, defining the solution, and actually showing business impact. So it's something that we're going to be ramping up and doing a lot more of in 2026. So as things hopefully begin to wind down towards the holiday period, this is definitely a 30-minute course I'd recommend taking so that you can get more familiar with what exactly is the Rewst Impact Framework, how do I use it, because it's something you're going to be seeing of in the new year. Here is the automation lab. So again, you can just click register. It's going to be under an hour long, going through some live training. But of course, if you can't make it, register anyway. You'll get that recording and a little bit more information. So that's happening next week. I will pop the link in the chat. And here's our building branded Rewst forms as well that you can get up and running. With that, I'll just kind of roll into a couple of community updates. So some of the events, obviously, as you guys know, we have Flow coming up next year. It's still early bird pricing, so make sure you can save some money on a ticket there for our big June event over in Nashville. For folks in Europe and the UK, if you haven't been to Nashville, it's one of my favorite cities. It's one of the best cities in America, I think. If you like live music, if you like getting out and having a good time, it's a great spot for that. And of course, Flow is going to be full of all automation focused folks, who are passionate about automation and getting together and sharing stories and there to learn. With that in mind, also call for speakers. We still need and are very interested in acquiring more MSP speakers. And specifically what we've done in this form now is kind of broken it into the what, the why, and the how. So one of the pieces of feedback that we got from last year is, whilst a lot of business leaders loved some of the main stage presentations that really focus on the business operations, where's my ROI, how do I use automation to scale my business, how do I talk to my customers about this and start positioning automation as a service, there's a lot of builders, there's a lot of engineers and technicians there, and they're really curious about, well, how do I do this? Where should I start? What is this thing? And so if you're someone who's built a bunch of workflows, or you're someone who's created a framework or a method to show value, that's super important for the community as well. So don't think that just because you're only building workflows that your comments and your knowledge aren't valuable. You're actually exactly the kind of person that we're looking for to help with some workshops and some speaking. So please take a look at the call for speakers. We're still welcoming submissions throughout this month. And most importantly, if you do become a speaker, your ticket price is comped or refunded if you've already registered. So please do take a look at that. Last but not least, I'm just going to highlight here our webinar for this month, happening in a couple of weeks' time, December 16th. this is something we've been speaking about a lot recently. I'm sure you guys are seeing it too. There's confusion in the marketplace about AI and automation. Sometimes people, including MSPs, are using that interchangeably, but when you really hone in on it, it's not quite true. And so we've kind of coined that term, AI thinks, automation acts. And so we're going to be diving into what is AI, what does it do well, where does it need more help, what's automation really good at, what's its weaknesses, and how can MSPs leverage both now and in the future to really scale and improve their business. And that's in partnership with Thread. So if there's any Thread users on the call, or if you have no idea what Thread is, you should check that out. Most importantly, the speakers are actually the founders. So Aaron himself will be leading this webinar. So even if you feel like you know a lot about this already, Aaron's always good for some sound bites and some rants, so that'll definitely be interesting for folks there. So get that registered. I will drop all the links to these in the chat now, and while I do that, I'm going to hand over to our very own English elf, Lewis Whitehead, who's got a little bit of holiday cheer to spread with us on this call.
Hello. Yeah, I'm not wearing this hat for my own joy because it's very humbling for how gigantic my head is. I thought, just as it is the last one of the year, that we would, spread a bit of Christmas joy. So I've been frantically jotting everyone's names down as that has joined the call or has been on here at some point. I'm going to spin the wheel. Whoever it lands on, we are going to send you some merch. So good luck. I'm screen sharing. I thought it wasn't for a second.
No, you're good. You're good. We're spinning. Sending me. I thought that was mine there for a second, Gareth. So I was like,
no, I didn't include Roost. Mark Watson, congratulations. I will drop you over a message. We'll get in touch and get you some merch. Congratulations.
Well done, Mark. Some swag is on its way to you. There you go. Happy days. You can make everyone else at Silver Cloud super jealous of your Roost merchandise. Okay, that's it for departmental updates. We have got Dennis with us today, who's going to show us an automation he's been working on. Dennis, maybe before we jump into a high-level overview of the automation, you can just tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and your kind of general experience with Rewst so far.
Yeah, sure. My name is Dennis Ebbenhorst. I'm the owner of Biscom, a managed service partner in the Netherlands. And we use Rewst. We have used Rewst already for, I think, maybe 12 months right now. Started December last year. Started using it with just a small use case. And decided to do nothing else but integrate everything. So the new baseline for business is if it doesn't integrate, we don't do it. So we have a lot of we have a lot of vendors coming over telling that their software offer is perfect, is the best. And the first question I ask them is, does it integrate? And if they say no, then they'll leave within 5 minutes.
Well, there you go. I think that's music to Daniel and Jesse's ears, because I'll be the suspect one here. A lot of times our community are like, we need to integrate, you got to integrate these people, and you kind of got to read between the lines when we say we'd love to, but we can't right now. And often it's because of what you're pointing towards, Dennis. There's just a lack of a sophisticated integration, and people have a different idea of what a good API is. So glad to see that you're actually taking a really proactive approach in your stack selection from the get-go. Is this a platform, a system, a tool that I can readily integrate with Rewst and other key aspects of my stack?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we program with 2 persons in our business. We're a company based in the Netherlands, like I said, with 20 employees at this moment, basically covering the whole world within retail and hospitality. So we have customers which are based in the Netherlands or stationed in the Netherlands, but have like multiple locations all over the world, starting from Canada all the way up to Australia. And we have to support them around the clock. And so we do not want our technicians to wake up every minute when there's something wrong. So let them sleep and let the automation do the rest.
Very good. And when we were chatting on Dennis, like to kind of hone in on what you're going to show us today, when we were chatting on Discord, Dennis, you kind of got this comment that caught my eye, which is, you know, the feeling when you scored a deal with Autotask, but you need to manually execute the one process function every time. Maybe that's ringing true for some other Autotask users. Can you just explain a little bit about what that manual process is, and then go into how you're automating it?
Yeah, of course. I would like to show it. Because I prepared 2 demos. First of all, the manual one, and second of all, the automated one. So let me just share my screen. Like this, and then my screen over here.
Cool. Yeah, we can see. There you are.
So we have a quotation. I prepared one, just a manual one, with some business. We use Sales Builder as a quotation service, but it doesn't matter which quotation software you use. You could use the Kaseya stack or just any other one. Once it integrates with Autotask, it will work. So we have here some hardware. We have some additional services added to the offer and some working hours. In this case, 20 working hours. So I will now just approve this one based on my don't send the confirmation and confirm it. Now the system will, because it's integrated to Autotask, will send it all the way to Autotask with a API update, and the stage will change from offerte verzonden. In this case, the quotation has been sent to, once it runs. Of course, you will always see with the live demo, it doesn't work as fast as you want to. Of course. Let me just do it manually, because normally it would fire up a API call to Autotask and would say it has been won. So in this case, we have a test, and we have to do the one opportunity. This is just normal Autotask process. We have to start with a one opportunity. We will go to all of the settings, the total revenue, the close date, primary contact, competitor. We would like to create a post-ticket sales in the queue, and then the ticket work type. You have to edit all these things with hand, small description. Ticket charges on the post-sale ticket, yes. Is there a purchase order needed for these things? Once a customer sets the purchase order, you have to set this manually. Do you get bored already from the manual tasks? Yeah, right?
It's saying there's multiple screens. This is something you have to go through manually for
every single time. Every single time. Once you have a opportunity which you want. So this will create a new ticket with the priority 1. Why? I don't know. It's just Autotask default. So in this case, we have a name convention which says opportunity closed with a test product. And it basically says nothing other than I have a ticket with the priority 1, just do something with it. So if worst case, something at night, someone late at night approves a quotation and you have to manually forward it, it will just create a priority 1 ticket, which doesn't have any information, anything about it, only that it has a connection with the opportunity we created. So we wanted to change that and automate that. So let's get rid of these things. So we have an automated same opportunity as we had just right away. We will approve it. Do not send the confirmation and confirm it. Code has been approved. I will come to that one later on. We already processed 1, 2 closed. And it's been stage 6, in our case, completely done. let's see, automatic one. Let me check if this one in the detailed page has been synced. Yes. Has not been synced. Like I said, once you see it, once you want to change it, try and change it, it doesn't work. Let me put it on one like this. This is normally what happens once a deal is closed. So it will set from the sales builder API to stage 5. And then what happens is the next thing. What we did is we let the cron job get all opportunities from the API, from Autotask API. We will check if there are new opportunities. And if there are new opportunities, we will put a flow on top of that. And what will happen is we will do this one process. We get all the variables we need. So the quotation knows the purchase order, total labor, default contract. So every item we want to set on the Autotask side, we will check and confirm, put it all together in a set of variables like this. So we have one place where we put all variables at once. And then we will start building our ticket. Sometimes there's already a ticket because a customer asks a question and we will build an opportunity based on that ticket. So we will just update that ticket or create a new ticket if it's not there yet. Then all quoted items or quoted items will be set. We will filter it out to different types: labor, services, hardware, software, and sending pricing. I don't know exactly how you say it in English, but the price for sending hardware. And we put it at automatically on charges on the ticket. So all ticket charges are combined to one to all ticket charges with the purchase order as ordered by the customer. Then we'll put the primary resource and the secondary resource to the ticket. So the account manager is directly connected to the ticket. We will update the ticket based on all the variables we had, and we will close the opportunity we had, and it will be all cleared. What that will look like, I don't know, it's already run. Yeah, it's closed. So this one worked. We have the opportunity that has one ticket right now, so that's automated. It will get directly the corrected subject, so the quotation number with the correct naming convention of the quote we sent. We will put it directly to the customer with the correct priority and the correct status. We will say to the Autotask ticket, these are the hours we sold. So in this case, we sold 20 hours and we put it in the ticket like that. We put on the correct contract, the correct working type, and all the charges we sold are directly put into the ticket with the corrected purchase order. And in the activity, we've told a note that it's automatically set. We use these charges to put it like this. We have these hours to work on and what we need to do, and some contractual elements which we need to feed later in the contract of the client. So basically, once you sign the offer we sent you, it will automatically go to execution like this.
Very cool. So Dennis, this is something that's probably, well, it's running every time you guys close a deal, right? So the more it runs, the more successful you're being.
Yeah, we do like 200 deals a quarter somehow. Wow. So this put away a lot of manual time, a lot of questioning about invoices, because purchase orders are now correctly set. Sometimes we miss a purchase order item on charges within Autotask, and this completely managed away all the manual work.
Yeah, I mean, would you say, I mean, this is another great example of just, I think, well, automation, reducing that manual drudgery that we always talk about, but also the human error. Like you at the start, thanks so much for actually taking the time to highlight the manual process, having to copy and paste in all these different numbers and fields and purchase orders and dates and prices. I mean, I imagine that, yeah, people just make mistakes fairly often with that because it's cumbersome and boring, whereas this completely resolves that.
Yeah, I see a question from Leah V. The question is this the Autotask client portal? No, this is the Sales Builder software, which is just a custom software someone wrote in the Netherlands and is selling to all MSPs worldwide. So if you would like to see how it works or get a demo, I will put in the URL in the text.
Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions for Dennis on this? Don't be shy if you do or think of something, please pop it in the chat. But we have 12 minutes left on the call. I wanted to sort of open up the end of the call just for any general Q&A. If folks had anything that was particularly pressing, either for stuff at Rewst, we've got both Jesse and Daniel and Lewis and Jack on the call, or if there's anything anybody is struggling with or curious about, now's a perfect time to ask. But maybe to put more of a point on the question, I was actually curious if anyone had anything short and sweet that they wanted to show off. With it being the holiday season, this is a nice little neat automation I'm really excited to run with the office being closed, or more people being out of office. I know that's always such a nightmare, being at an MSP whenever people are off trying to enjoy their own downtime, but the tickets keep rolling in or the customers keep asking you stuff. Does anyone have anything cool that they feel is a real benefit to them over the holidays? Oh, sorry, and James. James is here as well. He's great. James, my nemesis.
How many nemesis do you have?
Just one, just James.
Okay.
Just James. Mr. Hunt. Thanks, Paul.
But if we can agree it's no op, then the nemesis can stop.
What do people say in alternative to no op? Nope.
Nope. Yeah, exactly.
That's how it's spelled.
Is there a dash in between? Is it no op?
No, it's noop.
It's no operation.
Yeah, but it comes up as noop. Right?
Got a lot of thoughts. I'll keep them to myself. It's like GIF versus GIF, I guess, eh?
Well, I think there's only one right answer there as well.
And that is.
Huh? It's a it's a GIF, right? It's a GIF.
I think
it's a GIF.
I think
all
so.
Right, okay.
Yeah. We agree
saved
there.
Yourself,
right?
Me and Daniel
You're
are
not a complete moron.
You saved yourself 2 additional nemesis or nemesi. Today, at least.
Does anyone on the call have any cool automations they're running over the holidays, or just one that they run now that, yeah, helps a lot? No. I will say this is not as random as you may seem. This is again with me, you always got to read between the lines, because maybe in the new year, maybe there's a competition on the horizon or some type of community-based initiative we might be working towards that involves some automation building for the broader MSP community. The plural of nemesis is nemesis? Oh, nemesis. Greek. Well, thanks, Daniel. Learning about automation and Greek grammar. We want to make one to pull all VoIP customers and remind them to tell us if they want holiday messaging or diverts put on. Okay, that's a good idea. There's Kevin. Any timeline on Google Drive and Gmail API being added to Rewst?
I don't have a timeline on that, but let me follow up with our ecosystems team that does all of our integrations. Have you folders update? Yeah, we are doing our planning for 2026, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but yeah, let's leave it at that. You made me think about my 2026 planning.
Cool. Well, the last thing I'll wrap up with as a bit of an announcement is this year we have been running a business leaders focus group call for folks that are MSP owners or at C-level or maybe just involved in some of the more day-to-day business stuff, and it's been really successful. We're going to be pivoting to a slightly different format in the new year, which is going to be a quarterly call that's kind of more town hall type. So not as loose and well, it'll still be fun, but yeah, maybe not as loose as our Friday open mics, but it's going to come with a lot more focus on some of those business questions. So if you're an MSP business leader, owner, president, whatever, yes, we still have these technical calls for our open mics, but this is going to be a much more dedicated and themed content series around some more of the business stuff. So we're very eager and curious to hear what sort of questions that you guys have. So for example, one of the things we'll be starting off with is that impact framework. But when I'm speaking to business leaders, a lot of the same things come up. It's ROI, it's scaling, it's hiring, it's promoting from within. So if you're someone who's interested in learning about that or has a suggestion for something we can hone in on, would love to hear from you. And likewise, even if you're not an MSP, owner or business leader, if you're kind of just loving building automations, still a great series for you to get involved with to kind of look at some of those strategic points or just push some of your colleagues towards, right? If they're curious to learn more about it. So keep your eyes and ears open for that coming in the new year. Thanks, James. It is less fun. Cool. Well, if no one has any other questions, we can wrap it up there. Unless gonna hold the silence for 7 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining EU Open Mic. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. Our first one of the new year will be happening on Friday, December 2nd, so the day after New Year's Day. So we look forward to catching up with you all then. As usual, if you have any questions, post them in Discord, either on your private channel or some of the community channels. Have a lovely, safe holiday season. Enjoy the snow, enjoy the drinks, enjoy the pub. Yeah, take it easy, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks to Dennis for the demo, and happy holidays, everyone. Toodles.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays. Yeah.